guys, welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela. This is episode 13 entitled Twin Flame Talk with Ashley, Iaconetti, and Jared Haibon. They are from Bachelor Nation. You may know them, and I can't wait to talk to them about relationships and their own relationship and twin flame stuff. And I am here with my husband, Scott.
Hey, guys.
So on episode 9, I talked about twin flames.
Yep.
On episode 9 of the podcast. And we talked about I think we're just like awesome manifestors lately because I'm just really taking like a moment and pat myself on the back because, they were the successful couple. Like, cause I feel like they're twin flames because they give me that twin flame stress. And we use them as an example of a couple that has twin flame success. And then you reached out to Ashley.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you be on the podcast? And she was like, yeah.
Fantastic.
And we're like, really? She's like, so sweet. So they're coming and together, and both of them even.
Both of them are coming, yeah.
So super cool. And we're going to talk about just the relation, because I think what got us on this topic of, before while we're producing the episode, which would just be me and you talking about what we're going to talk about today while the kids are running around asking for peanut butter sandwiches.
Right.
That's a production meeting. We were like, let's talk about aura colors and just dating.
And dating.
Yeah.
But we had an issue.
Yeah.
The issue was we don't know what it's like to date because we haven't been on a date, other than with ourselves.
Yeah.
In, I don't know how many years it's been.
It's been 19 years.
Yeah, 19 years.
Yeah. So I don't know. I do readings and I can tell when I do a reading, what you need to do to be more open to the dating process or whatever your things are to help you out. But I myself,
we have no firsthand knowledge.
It's been a long time.
So we decided to brainstorm.
Yeah. That's what we do.
And we each came up with a few ideas. Mm-hmm. And then we presented our best idea of how to get this information to each other. So I will present my idea first. And my idea was that we date a couple of people.
Together?
Yeah. So we'll, be fair.
So wait, you and me are dating one person, double dating? Or what is this?
No. One, first we're going to date a guy.
What?
The two of us will date a guy.
What's going on here, Scott?
And then the two of us will date a woman.
What?
So it'll be, it's kind of weird.
This is weird, Scott. This is like a TLC show.
Yeah, I think it might actually be a TLC show.
I think this is a TLC show. Are you trying to tell me something?
No. I just thought for
that's
research.
A whole different show.
for research.
For research, we
in the name of research,
as a couple, date someone.
Right. And then I actually did some research.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Because how are we going to find this guy?
Well, first of all,
girl?
Do they know that they're not allowed to pick the restaurant?
That is something that we'd have to we'd have to work on.
All right, so you research. This isn't creepy. Go ahead.
Okay. So the first thing I came up with was maybe, one of these dating sites.
Okay.
So I did some research on the dating sites. And the first one that just came right out at me was farmers dating.
I'd be into that.
Yeah. It's for the single farmer.
Okay.
And basically, it's to meet that country person of your dreams.
I'd be into that.
Yeah.
So you have to be cool with tractors and
tractors,
land and not city folk.
Right. They even say on there it's not for city folk.
I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Put a check mark next to that.
Yeah, I put a check mark.
And I like it. I'm into it.
I thought definitely for you to get the guy, we can go there.
This is weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. But
you're dating him too.
Yes, right. Correct. I'd be dating
so it's
him
both
too.
of us dating this man.
Correct.
But they probably have girls on there too that are farmers.
Yeah, they did. But I thought maybe find something that would be more me.
I like that cooking show. What's it? She's got red hair and she lives in Montana, and it's something with the word prairie in it. And you all will correct me when I'm done. I'd date her.
Okay.
Because then she'd cook for me. So I'm okay with her.
So she might be on the farmer dating.
She could be, yeah.
If she ever
all right, check.
Check. All right. The second one I found was
so
coffee
creepy.
meets bagel.
That's you.
And I thought that was me.
What the heck is coffee meets bagel?
That's I guess you talk about your experiences at Wawa and Starbucks.
This isn't real.
It's coffee meets bagel.
What is that?
I thought it would be fantastic.
Your coffee and the other person's bagel?
Somebody's coffee and someone's bagel.
But we're three.
Well, maybe it would be like a double caramel macchiato.
I'll be the bear claw because I like those pastries with my coffee.
So I thought for me, that would be really good. I checked out Craigslist.
You probably both have coffee breath. That would be gross.
That'd be horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to brush your tongue or whatever.
If you both have coffee breath, maybe it's okay.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
would be an espresso.
Mhm.
Then I checked out Craigslist.
What?
And you didn't want to go there.
No, that's
Yeah.
dude. People get killed
Yeah.
dating on Craigslist.
I figured we might get killed.
Scott, that's like a long time. I think everybody knows
Okay.
that now.
So let's just cross that one
Cross
off.
that one off. We're not doing that.
Then I found this really friendly one.
Okay.
It was called Frenzy.
Oh.
Like Frenzies or something.
Okay.
Frenzies. I thought that'd be great.
What's
everyone's
that?
friendly.
Yeah, you just make friends.
Yeah, but it's for college kids.
That's creepy.
So I'm out of that.
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
I am too. Like,
Yeah.
well, what's a college kid? Is there an age limit?
It was like, you meet in your dorm or something.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Stop going on these sites.
Or maybe you meet at the school library and you read, like
Okay.
your history book while you're taking class or something.
That's so innocent.
So, yeah. So,
We'll cross that off.
cross that one off.
Yeah,
All right. So
we've
Craigslist is
outaged
out.
that. Okay.
Frenzies is out.
Yeah, that's weird.
And then, then I got excited about this one.
Oh.
It was called Amish Dating.
How do they go online? That doesn't make sense.
Well, here's the funny part about it. You actually have to fill out a form. So I'm like, I'll fill out the form.
No.
Yes.
You filled out, Scott,
Yeah.
you filled out the Amish dating form?
Yeah. They wanted to know what kind of buggy I drive.
You're joking.
No. No.
You're joking.
You-
I want to see, no.
You can check it out.
What is this? You're joking.
They asked me, what are my skill set with a hammer?
Stop.
What's my skill set with a
Amish
screwdriver?
people don't go online. They don't.
There truly is an Amish dating site.
So how?
They say, are you Amish man? Are you Amish woman?
Where do they go online to use it? Like the library? Like I don't understand. They're not allowed to have electricity.
Well, I think they have that that 1 year period where they're allowed to leave.
Oh yes,
The
yes,
Amish
you're right.
land.
No, they are. I saw a whole documentary about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the young Amish are allowed to go out and explore the world.
And that's when they do this. And they do their TikToks and their Snapchats.
They wear sunglasses
yeah,
and
it's like selfie in the buggy. Whatever.
yeah, buggy selfies.
Yeah, but
All
after
right.
they asked me what's my skill set with a hammer, I knew this was not
for you.
us.
It's not for
so
me
I crossed
either.
that one off the list.
I don't have a skill set with that either.
And I think if we really go with my idea, we'll go with coffee meets bagel or farmer dating. Now, now you have an idea.
Yeah, so I'm going to say that your idea is a little creepy, and it might be for a different show, and you
Okay.
might be trying to tell me something.
Okay. So what's your idea?
Not quite sure. Okay, no. My idea was to just ask the Mystic Michaela spiritual family on a thread to see two questions. Why they would say yes to a date and why they would say yes to a second date. So, and what their aura colors were if they knew them.
Okay.
So I want to hear, so you have this in front of you because we had like a lot of participation on this, which is awesome. Because here's the thing. Okay, so there's 5 main aura colors. Let me just rehash it real quick.
Okay.
And like how I see it very generally with dating is purples are about like the vibe, okay? Like there's not a lot of logic. Like if I feel ya, it's gonna work out. But the problem is like if the purple person has some like major issues, they're gonna feel out people with other major issues, so it's it can be a little tough. Yellow people, they're kind of about credentials. Like, is this person normal? Does this look good on paper? They're a little bit more with it, but you can go either way. You got to have a balance with all these things. Red people are more about like take charge. Let's just do this. Very take the first action and everything. So they're not letting anybody pick the restaurant, for example.
Like
okay,
me.
green people. They are very picky. Greens are really picky. Like they're very picky about who they spend their time with. Like they don't care. So like they are very picky about who's around them, and they can have like weird things that are on their checklists. And blues and indigos and turquoises tend to do this thing where like everyone gets a pass. So like, let's say somebody's late or somebody's like a little weird or awkward or somebody does something stupid, they could be like, well, he meant well. Maybe I should, they doubt, like, maybe I should just give him another day, so they can it can work for you and it cannot work for you.
Okay.
That's generally what I see with dating. But what are you getting? Tell
Okay.
me what they're saying.
So let's see. So the first question, of course, is going to be what makes you say yes to a date.
Yeah.
And then the second question is what makes you say yes to a second date.
Okay.
Okay. So Colleen, who is yellow and purple,
Okay.
says she would say yes to a date based on intrigue. If they're interesting, funny, independent,
Yeah.
and would say yes to a second date if they're nice to the waiter or waitress.
That's her purple and yellow working out so well. Because, like, intrigue is, like, the vibe. And then the yellows, that's what they do. They're going to watch you on the first date. Yellows are good at dating because they can make it like an interview. So they can be like, okay, like they're friendly and social and bubbly and lovely, but they're also watching you. They're like, let's see how you acted today. And then that'll be my decision whether you see me the next time, because yellows can do that. So that's cool. Thank you. Thank you for
That's
that.
a good one.
All right. I like that.
All right, so we have Claire.
Oh, yeah.
She's purple.
Mm-hmm.
And she says a red guy called her and told her. So he said, hey, I'm taking you out. That was such a turn on to her.
Ooh. Purple's like that, yeah.
Yeah. He took charge of the whole date, chose the restaurant, ordered, opened the doors, the whole 9 yards. So she said, I'm going on a second date.
Yeah.
So does that make sense? Purple
Yeah,
with the red.
absolutely. That's why I think, part of my attraction to you, Scott, was like you were a take charge guy. And you wore a lot of striped shirts. As it was the early millennia.
So I got by with the striped shirt.
Yeah, I liked that.
Okay.
No, but yeah, purple's like, reds do take charge and purple's like that. That's why I do, and they like and also purple's like to, maybe a couple dates in, then you're like, no, I'm going to test you on this. That's what a purple will do, to just see like the red's reaction. But that's fun for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this Emma is purple and blue.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I don't think I've ever been on a date yet. But I'd say yes if there were feelings there and I listened to my intuition.
Oh, purple.
I need to know the guy a little bit before. Like, is he kind, genuine?
Aw.
Is he a player?
Blue.
So she's using her... Oh, that's the blue, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's using the purple.
Yeah. Sometimes what can happen, though, like the blue can kind of step in and make you overcautious sometimes. Sometimes you just got to like, what's lunch? Just go to lunch with somebody. Just like have a drink or whatever. Like it's okay. Like you can figure it out on the way. Sometimes people don't always trust themselves. And that's like a blue thing. Like, I don't always trust myself. What if I make a bad decision? Or what if I get in a predicament? But yeah, blues are very concerned with somebody's heart. Like, are they a good person?
Okay. Now,
What do we got?
Connie
Yes.
says she's an artist. She thought she would do great with a creative type. Do you know Connie? Is she purple?
Yeah, she's purple and red.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she went on a date. This is going to get a little graphic. So
I like this.
if you want to skip that button that lets you skip
graphic.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
It gets a little graphic.
Oh, I'm into it.
That's probably why I chose it.
Yeah. That's probably why you chose it.
It wasn't about feet, but anyway.
We digress.
She went on a date with a really, really, really handsome painter.
Okay.
Okay. She's a tourist, so she likes pretty things.
Oh.
And then he was talking about art and about how he was working on a painting.
Okay.
And then he showed her the painting.
Oh, God.
And it was a woman with blood and a bomb in her, bottom lady parts.
Scott? Yeah.
Lady parts.
All right, so it's like a graphic kind of lady part
Getting
thing.
blown up down there or
Wow,
something?
he has issues.
Yes. And she said, I ran as fast as I could.
That was smart, Connie. Connie don't play. Purples don't play. Like right there, I mean, that's just, he had some mommy issues or something really effed up was going on with that guy. That's a terrible, can you imagine like everything's going great? And then he's like, let me show you my art, and it's all violent and like issue ridden like that.
Yeah. And this is funny too.
Terrible.
That I have to add this about Connie.
Yeah.
So we don't remember her as the blown up lady part person.
Yeah, that was good though.
She also said, which is interesting,
Connie,
that
so
she
funny.
used when she did her online profile, she used big words to shorten the dating pool. Meaning like,
like
get rid of
filter out the
dum-dums.
dummies. Yeah, that's so so I think she's in a relationship now and it's really awesome. Yeah. So I feel like that worked for her.
Yeah.
Connie should run a workshop on this.
Connie, you're hysterical.
like dating 101. Like, let's all get the dictionaries out and make our profiles. Okay. Part 2. When to run. Mommy issues. Go.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's funny. Okay, who else? What else we got? Oh yeah, but red, and she's red too, so she can make a decision and be like, yeah, and that's it. We're done now.
Okay, so let's deal with someone that doesn't know their aura.
Okay.
They think they might be yellow blue.
Okay.
So Jeanette asks, she says, first date, she wants good conversation, laughter, some physical attraction.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe the farmer dating thing.
Yeah.
Intrigue and fun.
Okay, that sounds yellow.
That sounds yellow.
Yeah, it's very specific.
Okay. Now, the second date is trickier.
Okay. Ooh.
Because she tries to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Blue. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. For the third, she's going third date here.
Oh,
All right, for the third date now.
Okay.
You have to be able to hold the conversation.
all right.
Make her laugh, make her comfortable, and you've also had 2 good dates before.
Okay, that she's very blue and yellow because she just put like a weird stipulation on there, like the first 2 dates have to go a certain way, and then the third date can go this way, and then they can get married.
Okay.
That is so yellow blue. Yeah, yellows seem to be very interested with. I want conversation. I want intelligence, which is, I mean, these are good things. Like, but they're more structured about it. Like, they can tell. Yellows are good at picking out a pattern and kind of articulating it. Just like yellows are good, they're organizational in their life. So they're good at kind of seeing somebody and organizing them and understanding. I do see a lot of yellow blues with greens because, like, green people are also kind of like that. They want things to be kind of together, make sense, good conversation, there to be kind of an order to things, something very, logical. So, yeah, yellow, blue, definitely.
Definitely. All right, so we think we know your colors now.
Yeah, that's definitely yellow, blue. I haven't seen her picture, but that's exactly it.
Yeah. Okay, you can check it out when we're done here. We're okay. A lot of people, again, are with the, they're looking for calmness. So Krista says she wants banter with calmness is ideal.
Okay, yeah, because especially when somebody like a purple has been in a situation that was super not calm, they understand that so a lot of purples, a lot of people, their exes or like past relationships were dramatic, and they were like, "Oh, I thought that was chemistry." No, it was my issues like manifesting in another person, because anybody that you date is a mirror of your own relationship with yourself. So once you get over your own issues, like, you can do better finding somebody that matches you where you're at. So yeah, so banter, like, hey, I like when someone takes charge myself. I like when Scott takes charge. I like when you take charge, Scott. I like when you're a leader. I like that a lot. But then you also, I can put my foot down and you're also like, okay, got it. You're not like psycho, crazy control freak. Right. And there's a balance that's there that maybe she didn't experience the last time.
And I apologize. That was from Rachel.
Rachel, okay. Rachel. Yeah, it's probably she didn't experience that the last time in a relationship, and now she like understands the difference.
Okay. Hannah, purple and blue, says something unique, not just dinner. Ooh. The person has to have a great sense of humor and physical attraction.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Purples you got to hit them, they got to like want to kiss you. Like, purples can't, there has to be chemistry with a purple. But I like her thing, like, she wants more entertainment, like, not just the usual. Okay. There's nothing like, for some of us, like, who are very emotionally invested in other people, like, it's hard to go out with somebody that doesn't, like, make you feel something.
Interesting. Okay.
All right. Anything else to finish it up?
Yeah. All right. So here's Janessa.
Okay.
Purple indigo.
Ooh, yes.
So we haven't had this combo yet.
Okay.
All right. I love an intimate dinner date at a nice restaurant. Don't take me for coffee.
Oh, she can't be on the coffee bagel thing, Scott.
So yeah, she's out of the coffee bagel thing. So we're not going to find her there.
No, she's not on that site.
She's not on that site.
No.
So Janessa's out. All right. I'm too awakened and a wine first. Okay. So wine over the coffee.
Okay.
But they must be cute.
Okay.
Emotionally smart, and have their blank together.
Yeah.
Obviously, before healing and recovery, I was drawn. Then she goes into like being drawn into narcissists.
Yeah.
Indigo, right?
That's yes, indigos. It's what happens. We're like fly traps for them.
She's got to feel special.
Yes, I understand that. Yeah, you have to feel like you are needed in the other person's life. I feel like when you're an indigo, like there's something you're doing for them that's healing to them. And in that, and that they're benefiting from it. They're not just taking, which in the past, she's probably referring to relationships where she gave, and it didn't make any difference. Now she's looking for a relationship where she can give, and it does make a difference. And then they are a better person, then they pay it forward too. So that's what, indigos kind of need that.
Okay, let's do one more.
Okay.
Because it's an indigo yellow. That was a purple,
indigo yellow,
That was a purple indigo.
Okay.
Now we got an indigo yellow.
Yes.
All right,
I love my yellows.
So this is from Molly. And Molly says,
okay,
indigo takes over when I'm feeling guys out. I can sense their intentions,
yes,
how deep the conversations are going to be, and how real they're being.
Is this Molly Margaret?
Yes.
Yeah, she gets the colors real well. Okay, go ahead.
She gets the colors real well.
Yeah,
okay, good.
She gets it.
So that was the indigo, she said.
Yes, that's so indigo.
And then her yellow says,
Yes.
want them to do the right way about it.
Sure.
They want to be. She wants to be asked out, systematic in her dating, be clear in the communication.
Yeah.
And be careful, sir, because I'm an indigo as well as I can sense it if you're genuine.
Be careful, sir. I love that.
She doesn't want you to be fooling her. Okay,
No.
so she can sense it.
There's nothing more offensive to an indigo is when, like, you can tell somebody is messing with you. I mean, this is purple too. Like when any empath color, like when you know somebody's intention is mal-intentioned towards you, but they're not like saying it up front, that's really freaking annoying. And it can make you very angry. But it's hard to like express that, like articulate it. Like your energy is like really not vibing with your actions. Like, and that's what she's saying. Like your actions better vibe with your intention. Otherwise she will feel that and call you out, which is a yellow thing to do too. Like I'm just like, this isn't working for me because A, B, C, and D, and I will give you exact reasons why.
Wow. I mean, there's some pretty neat stuff on here, and there's a lot of stuff I can't.
There is so much.
I can't mention.
No. Oh, really?
We're a G podcast.
We are G. We try not to put the explicit E up.
Yeah.
Did you know that, like, if there's swear words, guys, as Scott calls them curse words, I don't know what your word is for that, but I call them swear words because I'm from Buffalo. You have to put an E next to your podcast for explicit. I try not to do that. I don't know why.
All right. And
okay.
I think we covered that.
Yeah, so we're going to move on to talking with Ashley and Jared, and I'm so excited. Meet back with you afterwards. Hey guys, before we talk to Ashley and Jared, I want to talk about a program called Tread Thrill. So I've been doing Tread Thrill. I'm on this is week 10 I'm on of Tread Thrill. So what Tread Thrill is it's a choreographed high intensity interval training workout. And she calls it a chit. Not a shit, a chit, okay? So Tread Thrill is chit. That's what it is. And what that means is it's about 30 minutes and it's choreographed with music. And I'm purple and it just keeps me like, just be honest, I hate working out. I really freaking hate working out. But because I have such intense anxiety, like I have to. And it's the only thing that's worked for me the past 10 years, I guess, of working out is like keeping me somewhat balanced. So I make myself work out and it's gotten to the point where if I don't work out, it's worse than if I do. Like, so like, I don't know, like working out's hard. Don't get me wrong. But this has helped me with my anxiety. And every once in a while, I got to change it up, and I feel like Nancy Anderson understands that. She's purple and yellow. She's organized with that yellow. She's got the purple. She's artistic. She's creative. And she came up with this program called Tread Thrill. And I'm on week 10. And yeah, it's a 30 minutes, like a run program. And then there's a 20-minute dumbbell strength workout, and it's all on your phone. And I have to tell you, I didn't think I could ever call myself a runner. Like, even though I've been working out, like I'll do classes or Pilates or I'll do Zumba or yoga or just like elliptical or whatever, whatever I feel like. But I never thought I could run. Like I see people run. I'm like, oh, please, But Nancy explains, like, none of us are runners. We have to train to become a runner. And that is what I feel like is happening to me. So I'm actually really proud of myself. And I have to say, like, the endorphin boost afterwards has been amazing and really good for me. Also, Nancy is kind of like on our wavelength here. Like, she's super spiritual. Like, every workout she gives little advice and little things. Like, it sits with me. So she's really wise and she's on a good vibe. And I would never promote anything that I don't use myself on this podcast. And I use this, okay? And it's really freaking cool. So here's the thing. Like I said, Tread Thrill is chit. It is choreographed high intensity interval training. And it includes 30-minute cardio workouts on a treadmill, any treadmill, paired with 20-minute dumbbell strength workouts. So it's all right there on your phone. Honestly, it is so fun. And trying it can show you better than I can tell you, really. But picture having a killer dance party on a treadmill, packed with energy, the best remixes, with fun and exciting running intervals. It's not boring or long, and it's arguably the best part is it's choreographed to the music. The workouts are so fun. They're short, but they pack a punch because they're also results driven. They leave you energized and feeling accomplished and empowered. Nancy coaches all fitness levels throughout the workout. So whether you're a beginning, intermediate, or advanced, she's got you covered. Like, I'm super beginning, and I'm still working on it. But you know what? I feel like if I finish it, that's what counts. So your best is the best you could possibly do. You know, like this is something you grow with. It's really, give it a try. The first week was hard, but after that, now I crave it. Nancy is offering the Mystic Michaela family a free 2-week trial. There's no commitments, no download required. This is huge, guys. 2 weeks. All right, she's giving us. She is also throwing in her new 90s throwback theme class. I love her theme classes for Thanksgiving week that you all will get special access to with this free membership offer. And guys, it's super easy to use Tread Thrill. You log right onto the workout application from your phone. You plug in your headphones, hit start, and Nancy will take it from there. There is a special link for you to claim your free 2-week membership, and I'm including it below in the show notes. But you can also head over to treadthrill.com or at Nancy Anderson Fit or at Tread Thrill on IG and click the link in their bio as well. Guys, it's seriously the best workout. You guys have to try it. I mean it. Hey guys, I am here with Ashley Iaconetti Haibon and Jared Haibon. And if you don't know them, get there because who doesn't? And I am so excited because, all right, so as you guys know, I'm an aura reader, but I also do this thing where I can tell people's relationships give off vibes. And you two give off like a twin flame vibe. And have you ever heard that before, you guys?
Yes. I think people have been writing twin flames under our Instagram for years. To be super honest.
Yeah.
When Jared and I weren't together,
right,
I used to like look up astrology things, and
God.
Whenever I came across twin, like I'd try to like put his sign with mine, my birthday, and all that.
Yeah.
And then I'd always get twin flames as like the answer to my question.
That's crazy.
Is that embarrassing, babe?
I don't know what that means.
He's still not there. Okay, like the thing is like it gives me like stress when I see a twin flame relationship, but you two were different. 9 out of 10 of them don't work out. So like that you two got together, it was like a freaking miracle. You know what I mean?
Twin flames.
Okay, so a twin flame means it's like a special relationship, like if you've heard of like soulmates or kindred spirits or whatever, but twin flames are very special. They're like union, not just of the body, but of the spirit and the soul. And so you guys like give off that vibration, and I'm sure that's why everybody's invested in you guys, you know, like the energy is more than other couples, I think you would find. And that's what it is. And usually like in a twin flame relationship, you got like the couple mirror back one another's hidden parts. So it's like a big yin yang thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfect sense.
Yeah. So it's kind of like what you're lacking, Ashley has, and what Ashley's lacking, like you, Jared, have. So like you balance each other out really well, but it's also hard because you can also show one another very quickly and without any sort of filter the truth about one another. So it's a very honest relationship to be in when you're in a twin flame relationship. Which
it's so funny.
How do you?
It sounds exactly like us.
What do you mean by showing each other who we really are?
So I feel like with you two, the big thing is you, Jared, will call Ashley out on things, and Ashley, you'll call Jared out on things. Like you will call each other out on one another's, you know, what you're trying to hide in the other person. And now that you're together and this is like a comfortable, vulnerable relationship, it's like also bringing out all the good things together. So twin flames that get together usually do it for a higher purpose and like in this world. So I think it's crazy and really remarkable. I mean, you know, your public figures and your twin flames. So I feel like bringing attention to all these things you two bring attention to, you know, so it's kind of like being a twin flame union and it working out. There's a lot of like energy and attention around it.
So I think that Jared always expressed like insecurities when we weren't together.
Right.
About like, he was like, you don't know like certain parts about me. Like you think I'm perfect, but I'm not. And I don't want anybody to know. Like he always said like he didn't want people to like know his other side.
Well, she would just put me up in her head so much about being this perfect guy. And of course, when being friends with someone, you keep them at a distance to a certain extent. And so I knew that I had a lot of insecurities and downfalls about my personality and myself that if we ever got together, she would find out about
Right. Also, Jared, like you're green. So I do aura colors too. And Jared is like, you're super green. You're green and you're blue. But what's interesting is since you have reported since you guys got together and your relationship solid and now you're married, I noticed that both of you have more blue in your auras. But Jared, you're green. And like before you were with Ashley, just because, like we were all paying attention to this or whatever, I saw you being a lot more green. And green people have a tendency to it's like you can see yourself on paper or kind of see things like from the outside looking in. So yeah, like things or insecurities or things that you don't want other people to see, it's and you also came off of this huge like sucker punch on TV, like off of Caitlin's season. So you were like, I feel like dealing with a lot of your own stuff and then had to like jump back in it. And then Ashley's there like loving you just the way you are. And for a green person and then in a twin flame relationship, it can create like the runner in a relationship because twin flame relationships always have like a runner and like a chaser, So I found that interesting.
Runner.
I was like, I wonder who was the chaser.
Huh. Yeah, I wonder. But then you actually like you were super purple, but now you guys are very blue together, So like you being purple, that's like artistic and when I was on your podcast, the I Don't Get It podcast, like I think we talked about this, like how purple you are, and just now together, like when I see your selfies that you post and whatnot, there's a lot more blue in there. I feel like you're just more comfortable and safe, feeling vulnerable and in your relationship, and you guys communicate that way. How's it been since being married?
What about the fact that I was like never afraid of being vulnerable?
That's super purple because like purple people like will just put themselves out there to the point of even self-destruction, like constantly. Like I got hurt, I'll get hurt 10 times worse next, like that. But I feel like now it's like a more safe feeling, if that makes sense. And just your communication about it feels like it's gotten more logical or something. See, that's the thing with Jared. I feel like he helps you level out.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm a logical human being.
Yeah, we get a little like angry at each other when we talk about logic.
Do you? Yeah, you have different logic.
It's not logic. It's me being super positive and him being realistic.
That's what he calls it. Realistic.
Optimistic, and he's realistic.
But we argue about this because it just because I view something as potentially not happening doesn't mean that I won't go after it.
Right.
But Ashley is very adamant about the mindset of things, which I agree with. But sometimes I have to vent my doubt to her in order for me to try to succeed outside of the home, if that makes sense.
Dude, I so get that. Yes.
Yeah. Be like, hey, this is probably not going to happen. But then I'll leave the door and I'll be like, all right, Jared, just try to make it happen no matter what happens.
But I get annoyed because like I don't even want him to think that way.
Yes.
Well, it's impossible. It's just who I am.
It's not impossible.
No, it is impossible. It's impossible for me.
I never have like, I can just truly believe it full-heartedly.
I've been thinking for 30 years. 30 years. You're not teaching this little dog new tricks. But the thing is, and I tell her this, is the problem is being out here, I think hurts because I don't have a lot of avenues to, I don't have a lot of avenues to vent or just kind of, talk about my doubt, a lot of different areas with a career, relationship, so on and so forth. So Ashley gets kind of the brunt of everything. And so I think she sees me as this very negative, cynical person who disguises it as being realistic. When actuality, it's not that I don't believe in myself, but I have to vocalize all my doubt. And then once it's out there, I, for some reason, feel better about going after things that I view as unrealistic. Sounds weird, but it makes sense in my head.
No, it really doesn't. That's like green. That's a green person. Like green people see things. Here's the thing. You work in the reality that we kind of all agree on as like a society. So you know how things work. Like there's systems to things and there's actual like, you don't do the magical thinking. But for Ashley and for purple people, like magical thinking works. That's like the law of attraction and all these spiritual laws and stuff like that.
That's why created the life that I have.
Yes. I get it.
And your life would be better if you just took my way.
Trying to preach her beliefs on me. You believe this?
That's so yin and yang, you guys. No, but it's true. Like, I get what Jared is saying, but the thing is like Ashley doesn't want to absorb into that thinking. So it's like you're putting up the good fight that you do because you understand what he's saying because he's logical and he makes sense, but you don't want to like drink the Kool-Aid either because that would mess up what's always worked for you, which is just like if I believe it, it'll happen, like no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that I really wanted that I haven't gotten, and I truly think it's the power of positivity.
Yes. No, that is. It's visualization. But that doesn't work for green people though. Green people work differently. So I understand what Jared is saying.
Yeah, I just think that we have two different approaches towards it, and I don't think one is better than the other. I think it's just different.
And I don't know. I have to say that I think one is better than the other because why would anybody want to just be realistic if they could be positive?
I think it's very arrogant to sit here and say everything you've ever thought of has come true. That's all.
I don't think it's arrogant. I think it's pretty much true.
I would disagree, but
I think things that I don't really care about maybe haven't happened. Like there's certain things, sure. But like things that I've truly wanted in this life, I feel like have.
Yeah. And like, do you ever do that thing, Ashley, where you're like, well, if it didn't happen, it wasn't supposed to, so it's okay?
Let me rephrase it. I think I love you more than anything, but I think it's a little arrogant to say that anything you've ever wanted in life has happened because of your positive thinking.
Okay. Well, that's just you and that's just me.
Yeah.
It's two different ways of doing it. Well, that's like, there's two things going on here. I feel like this is like aura therapy. I feel like with you, Jared, when anybody marries a green guy, and purples and greens do well together, which is what you are, but when anybody marries a green guy, the thing is like he can't think any different than how he thinks. Like he can understand or have compassion for what you're thinking, but he'll never go there. But
that's super interesting.
Yeah.
I am learning a lot then.
Yeah, like I feel like with you, like, but you're teaching him too, you know, like you're both learning a lot. But I feel like with him, he's just never going to change the way that he like. I don't think, Jared, you're going to change the way you logically think because it's worked for you too, getting you where you are in life. I think
it's not that I'm unwilling to change. I've changed a little bit, but there's only so far I'm willing to go before I have to at least look at things in a different lens.
Isn't your dad green, Ashley? Isn't he a doctor? I think he's green. I forget. I think I saw his picture.
Yeah.
So do Jared and your dad have like things in common with the way that they think?
Yeah, my dad has always like sort of thought that I was ridiculous in my dreamy state.
Right.
Like whenever I was like, I tell him like, I'm like, no, Dad, I will, like, this will happen.
Right.
He has been like, okay, sure. Just like The Bachelor. He was like, Ashley, you're not going to be on The Bachelor. Like, there was like he just thought there was like no way that I was going to be cast. Right. And I was like, no, it's like it's a done deal. Like it's for sure. After my interview. So yeah, I do think that he's probably more of a realist.
Right. So you're probably just used to people that don't believe you. It's like a comfortable relationship for you.
My mom always thinks that I'm gonna do it because she's like, Ashley always gets her way.
Like you just work the law of attraction so well, like it just happens. Like it's like your will is being enacted.
Yes.
I get that. But like but it's funny because like with green people, I'll often see like they work their law of attraction too. It's just different. It has to be within the parameters of what their logic is. So like Jared, I feel like you'll get what you want too. It's just in the parameters of if it makes sense to you or not, you know? So like you've set things up in your life that way. But yeah, but I think when you're in a twin flame, like I really feel like you guys are in a twin flame relationship that actually worked, which is like amazing. But when you're in a twin flame relationship, like these deep conversations, like you have these conversations all the time where it's not just surface stuff. Like it's always very meaningful.
We definitely have this conversation a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like, I feel like when you're in kind of like one of these more heavy duty spiritual relationships, like that's what happens. Like you don't just talk about going to the grocery store. Like it's either like really silly and like ridiculous and funny where you're laughing super hard, like, and it's like childlike, or it's like, let's have a really serious conversation about like existential stuff. Like I don't feel like there's a lot of in between with you two.
Sometimes. I mean, we are married, so we do talk about the grocery store sometimes.
I guess that does have to come up.
Yeah.
So how has it been? How long have you guys been married now? Just a couple months, right?
Almost 3.
months, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So how have you two settled into this, I guess, this relationship moving forward? How's it been?
I guess we don't really feel like it's super different. It's
Yeah.
easier for us to answer the question of how was it when you guys moved in together?
Oh yeah.
When we moved in together, it was very easy. We were super comfortable with each other. There wasn't some weird transition period.
Isn't that amazing? Like, have you always felt like home to one another?
Yes.
Oh, that's so sweet. It's like, okay, so I just want to take it back. I'm sure you've been asked this like 4 billion times, but when you guys first met, what was your first opinions of one another? Like when you first, like even before you spoke to each other, like was there some pull or like what was that? Because I feel like we all felt it, but
Well, Jared says that he loved me at first sight in his vows. That was the first time I ever heard that.
Glad I saved it for that moment.
he saved it just for then.
Even though I'm still not sure if I believe him, but I'll go with it. Like I'll choose to believe it.
Right.
But I completely zoomed in on him. Like I didn't see anything else. Like I have no other memory of what the beach was like or like that step down into paradise.
Yes.
Except for like just seeing Jared.
Whoa.
Nothing
nuts.
has ever felt like that before.
Yes.
Aw.
It's so weird. Like when I reminisce on it, it's so weird. Like I was struck by love.
But that's a thing. That's a real thing. That's a real connection. Like that's a real like so you felt it was meant to be. Have you guys had, other than meeting on like TV, have you ever had any like what are other synchronicities like in your relationship? Like sometimes this is a whole thing. Like I don't know, like our sisters drive the same car, or we met on this 11:11, or like do you have any weird synchronicities between the two of you?
I wouldn't say weird ones. I mean, my parents got married on my mom's birthday, and Ashley's parents got married on her dad's birthday.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, that's a cool one. I always like asking those.
I mean, I think our personalities and are similar in a lot of ways. I don't know about. I mean, we
there's
each
nothing,
have
like,
one
too
sibling.
cutesy.
She has a younger sister. I have an older sister.
Okay.
But there's nothing.
We're both 2.5 years apart from our siblings, but I don't think that's like super unique.
We both love Tom Cruise.
What? That's unique.
I know that is pretty unique. Well, Tom Cruise movies to be specific. We
I don't know. I love Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I mean,
passionate man that he is.
He's a very passionate man, and both of us bonded over that.
Oh, that is so odd. Nobody bonded over that ever. That's amazing.
Well, she always wanted to be with a guy like Tom Cruise, and I
Yeah.
always wanted to be like Tom Cruise.
That's
So.
probably
Actually, you kind of, now that you mention it, you kind of have a Tom Cruise vibe, I guess. Like, he does. He does.
He has the most Tom Cruise vibe. And my other friend that I always bonded over our love for Tom Cruise with, when we were first watching our season of Paradise together, she's like, he is your Tom Cruise.
He is. Like, have you ever done, like, cocktail lines or anything else? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, we quote Jerry Maguire. We quote many of Tom Cruise's movies. Few Good Men.
And the lesser known ones as well, I hope.
Oh, well, I mean, a few good. I mean, I could just, if you want me to list them, all 6 Mission Impossibles, Cocktail, The Firm. We just recently watched together because that was one Tom Cruise movie that kind of went over my head.
What?
That I had never saw. It was one of those movies that came out in the 90s.
Yes.
I was too young to watch it at the time, and then it just. I never went back to watch it, and
Right.
then one day Ashley asked if I had seen it. I was like, no, I've actually never seen that. So we watched The Firm together. And
yeah, I know. It's so freaking crazy that you never watched
I know.
it.
That's a good one.
So good.
Night and Day, I think, is a very underrated Tom Cruise movie.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Wow, you guys. That is so funny. I love that. Okay. All right. I have to ask you just some things that I don't know. Like, what's your opinion on I have to ask Jared, like, do you buy the twin flame thing? Because you're green and usually green people don't. But what do you think? What's your opinions on this?
That Ashley is my yin to.
Your yang. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't. Ashley hates when I say this, but
It's okay.
I don't necessarily believe in one particular soulmate for each person. I believe that there are certain characteristics and personalities about someone that is very compatible with somebody else who has either differing personalities or similar characteristics. I don't really know exactly how it works, but of course, Ashley's someone that I've bonded with more so than anybody else in my life, someone I've loved more than anybody else in my life. So I definitely believe that our personalities and who we are as people make a great relationship. Whether that's predestined or it was, created to be that way. I don't know if I buy that, but I buy that, I connect with her different than anybody else I have.
That's cool. That's super green. It's like a green way to explain it. Green people, like, I love that though. Like, well, okay, I have to ask you green people questions now, Jared, just because we're on the topic.
I'm here. Let's go.
Because, all right, like, okay, so when I, like, with green people, they're often like, because, okay, but you have blue in you too. So you're like you got very soft heart, like you're very compassionate and kind and all those things. But when green people look at the world, they often, like from like the way that I do readings or how I see them, is they often see things are very black and white, like that kind of a way. And I often see them like with careers and stuff like that, like very much into creating, like being the person kind of like behind the scenes and creating the system or creating like how things go. Do you find in your relationship and like your career and like what you've been doing, do you find more comfortable like when you're more in charge of how things are going rather than when you're just kind of going with the flow?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I find a lot more comfort in controlling things. Especially from, like you said, behind the scenes. But the problem is, and I think the struggle that's been for the past couple of years, specifically with our relationship, is that the past couple of years with Ashley and we are most successful when we are going with the flow and being in front of the camera and kind of doing what other people are telling us to do. Not in our relationship, but work-wise.
Sure.
To always be doing, say yes to everything, so to speak.
Sure.
Say yes. Is what
And so with that comes a lack of control. I find, because you're not really dictating what's happening. You're kind of just going with the flow and trying to do the best you can in the moment to take advantage of the opportunities that hopefully will set you up for the future. So that's been a struggle for me. But of course, I very much would rather be in control and specifically behind the scenes. And I think even the past 2 years being with Ashley has been very different than any of my time on The Bachelor or Bachelorette, just because coming off that show, I still felt like there was a part of me that could control how much I was in this limelight. And I think a lot of that had to do with location. But now I feel like there's a big lack of control with that, at least in my hands.
Like for now. Now,
it's more of like you have to just do everything and anything.
Right.
Because this is the career path we've chosen. And every opportunity is now, and it won't always be like that. So we better just do it and suck it up. And in 2 years, maybe things will change.
You gotta make hay. No, that's like a really good way but every time I look at your picture, Jared, I hear the word producer. So I just feel like in your future, there's something like with that going on, where you are in production or you are in creating and things of that nature.
Be a director, so that would be
really?
Nice
that would make sense then. Yeah, because like I feel like you have a way of looking at things that is unique and it's kind of removed, but at the same time you see beauty, but you see it kind of in a lens, and a lot of people aren't able to see things that way. So and I like that about your energy. Like you can see things other people can't see, but you can create a vibe with it too, because you're blue, so you can create empathy or compassion or whatever through the way that you produce something. So I just feel like that for your future. And I feel like with Ashley, she's such a cheerleader for you. Like she's so supportive and,
she's the most supportive wife anybody could ever ask for.
Oh, you guys, you make me all, I feel like this is the thing with you two as a couple. And I know you've probably heard, I mean, we see a lot of people get together, you know what I mean? Like, but there's something about you two that like we were all very invested in it. And I call it twin flames, but I think, there's something there, and I feel like you gave a lot of people hope for finding their somebody, and do you get like a lot of messages about that and a lot of outreach about that?
Not to sound conceited, but yes.
No, that's not, but you give people that, you know what I mean? Like that, you know what? I kept going. I put myself out there 100% because that's what you did, Ashley. Like you put yourself out there like really strong, and we all broke our hearts with you, and I feel like that is just how you have to throw yourself at life. You have to throw yourself at the feet of faith. And I feel like we all saw you do that, and it gives people a lot of, you know what? Because, everybody like was like, oh, she cries, you've heard all that, like, but it's okay. And look, you're happy now, because like you did what you had to do to get where you had to be. So I don't know. I find like a lot of inspiration with you too, with people.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Aww. Okay. I have to ask you, do you guys ever have the same dreams? That's a twin flame thing.
I don't know. We don't, he doesn't dream very much.
No.
I don't really tell him dreams because a lot of people like, it's just.
I don't remember a lot of my dreams.
Yeah, I don't know. And people like don't like being told other people's dreams.
I do. I love it. I love hearing things like that. Okay. When you weren't together, would you dream about them though? And it felt real?
When we weren't together?
Yeah. Like when it was all stressful.
I don't have a memorable dream from us being togetger.
Yeah.
Like when we weren't together.
Yeah. That's like a twin flame thing. So, cross that one off the list. Okay. Do you, and my other thing is, do you always know what the other person's thinking? And has this been something that you've had from the beginning of your relationship? Like you've always known where he was at, and Jared, you've always known where she was at?
Yeah, I think we've always had a good idea of what's on each other's minds, even when we were just friends. I think we have a good job of reading each other or sensing what the other person is feeling or thinking.
Yeah. Okay, when did you guys know that the other one was, yes, there's love at first sight and and all that, but when did you know that this was going to be marriage? Like because you guys, once you decided you were going to be together, I feel like it moved pretty quick. So when was that decision made?
So beyond the love at first sight thing?
Yes.
I think we knew we were going to get married as soon as Jared basically said something in St. Lucia. So like basically as soon as he came out about his feelings.
And it was just like, this is it. This is happening.
Yeah, it was more like, okay, so I guess we're married now. It wasn't like we're boyfriend and girlfriend now, or we'll be boyfriend and girlfriend and see where that goes.
Like it moved right into the next phase, like right away.
Yeah. I agree. Once we got together, we knew that this was a lifetime partnership type relationship that we wanted to go into, not any type of short-term boyfriend-girlfriend, just because we had known each other for so long. We had so much history and baggage that there was no way we were going to jump into a relationship and then just see where it went. We were going to go. And then especially after the first month and a half, 2 months, where it was very easygoing and very comfortable and everything was great. We knew exactly who we were as people and where we wanted this relationship heading towards.
Yeah, because a lot of people they'll get together and it's still unsure. So that's interesting that it just moved so quick, I
also think commitment is a choice. And a lot of people lose sight on that.
Yes.
They think that commitment is some sort of predetermined, like we talked about before, something that's almost out of their hands. And they forget that they have to choose the other person every day.
Yeah.
And so I think that's my mindset when we went to this relationship. And then ever since, obviously, was that I'm going to choose Ashley every day. And that includes tough days or stressful days. It's just that's relationship and that's marriage.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what advice, because that's, again, because you're so green, and I don't often get a lot of green people on here, so this is very interesting for me. So thank you, Jared. So being green, because I'm just fascinated with this. Okay, and you're being an open green too, because usually greens aren't so articulate. Ashley, he's very articulate. Was he?
Oh.
You are. Has he always been this articulate, Ashley?
he's the speaker of our relationship and I'm the writer of it.
Oh,
It's
good.
it's very nice because if I need like him to talk out like an issue with friends or business, he's usually very good at that, and he's like able to like make it sound nice, like kind and business oriented at the same time. Whereas like if I need to write a business email on behalf of us, that's my job.
Right.
He's super articulate, and it's so funny because he finds that writing doesn't come naturally to him.
Right.
And,
That's funny. Like he gives you, this is what I want to say. Like now just make that sound okay. Like that. But like when it's time to talk and you have like a lot of feelings, he's like, let's narrow that down. Like you guys do that for each other.
yes. It's really nice.
Like I like that thing about making a choice for somebody every day, because like I feel like in any, like you said, in any relationship or in a marriage or anything, you have to remember like I made this choice and it's something but that is a green person way to put it. Because do you feel like earlier on, Jared, like you were, I don't know, like kind of almost just like closed off to not just Ashley, just like relationship in general? Do you feel like you had just put a wall up for the time being on a relationship?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had been single before getting with Ashley. I hadn't had a girlfriend in about 7 years, I think.
Wow.
I think a lot of it was my first relationship was about 4 years, and I ended it, and I ended it way too prematurely. Obviously not hindsight 2020.
Sure.
I'm married person now, but you know what I mean. At the time, I thought that there were certain things wrong, and because of those things being wrong, then this wasn't the person for me. And,
Yeah.
and then I learned from those mistakes and realized that there's always going to be something wrong. Nobody is truly perfect for each other.
Right.
Right. And so I learned from that, and then I think I do a very good job of presenting the best version of myself to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
And that point would be right before jumping into a relationship with someone.
Right.
And so I think I liked that version of me the best.
Yeah.
And so call it a wall, if you will, but I would not let myself cross into a relationship with anybody just because I liked people having a certain view about me, of who I was.
Sure.
It's not that I'm not that person, but very similar to what I would tell Ashley for many years before we got together was, this is of course who I am, but you also have to understand there's more to me than this, and there's a lot of flaws that I have, and there's a lot of things that I do that I'm not proud of. I let my insecurities get the best of me sometimes. I can get defensive because sometimes I get really down.
Yeah.
And when I get down, I get quiet. And of course, with Ashley, she's the complete antithesis of that.
Right.
Where when things are down, Ashley wants to talk about it immediately. Let's get it out there, where I kind of want to just go and be by myself for a little while. So I knew and that's just not with my relationship with Ashley. That's just me as a human being. And so I knew this for a very long time. I was pretty self-aware of it. And so I think for a while, I just would not let myself go down that path because I like the person I was to a certain point.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, cause like I said, like sometimes with green people, like you can see yourself from the outside, like, okay, this looks good. And I don't want to like show all the messy stuff right now, but yeah, but now that you're married and and now you guys understand each other better. I understand that too. Cause I feel like with Ashley, like, being purple and, the thing is it's all emotions and like and she's very intuitive. So I feel like Ashley, when you feel him kind of doing that thing, like you can be like, oh my God, that's like, it can almost feel like rejection or just like, what are you doing? Or like, stop it, like come back to me like that. And
all the time. Yep, you got it. Figured it out.
It's like it can be very stressful, and then it can be a trigger too to like the old days. It's like, wait a second, like come back, like don't do that,
So I say all the time.
She has like Bachelor in Paradise PTSD. Like she can't handle it. Like it's just not good for her.
I'm like, wait a second. I don't think you like me today. Oh God.
But he made a choice to like you no matter what. So even if he doesn't like you, he will.
I made a choice to love her.
Love her, right? I love that. So he's in it. Like he just said, like he's signed, sealed, delivered. Like he's not going anywhere. Like no matter what, even on his quiet days.
Thank you.
Ashley, what advice do you have for somebody who knows like they love somebody and that person loves them, but the other person keeps backing off from the relationship? Like, what do you have advice-wise for that person?
It's like, I mean, like, are you in a relationship or are you like wanting to be in a relationship is what's a different, it's a different recommendations, I suppose.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you're seeing each other and it's on and off, but it's like they keep running away and you're like, come on, I know this is something, you know.
I think in that case, you just kind of have to let that person go.
Mm-hmm.
You have to date someone else, you know, get over it, at least on the outside of like what it looks like, get over it. And then, and if they don't come back and they're not willing to like completely go in 100%, then you kind of just need to like get that person out of your life.
Yeah. Thank you. Because I know I talk to a lot of people, a lot of listeners, like this is what they're going through right now. Like they love somebody and it's just not working out, even though like they're not crazy. Like they know the other person feels it, but at the same time, like the other person isn't making that active choice to make it work out, which is hard. It's so hard for people when you like, you know that you're not wrong, but the other person won't, you know, cooperate, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is hard, but the best advice I have is just like let them go, and if they aren't coming begging for it within a couple of months, then like they're never gonna beg for it.
Yeah, that's really good advice because I feel like people need to hear that. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to add?
Babe?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily, but there's something in there.
No, there isn't. I was just saying that to be facetious.
Well, I want to thank you guys so much for being on. Like, seriously, like, I've had this weird, non-creepy, kind of creepy connection to you guys, like, in a way that's like, cause, you know, this is the work I do. So, like, when you guys were, like, on and off, and then you got together, it was, like, I felt so strong for you guys, and it felt so amazing to me. And you're such inspirations as a couple, and the way that you work together, and the way that you work through things. So I really appreciate you guys coming on here and being so open to it and talking about it and everything. Where can we find you? Where can we listen to you? Where can we see you?
Oh, thank you so much. My Instagram is Ashley_Iaconetti. Jared's is just Jared Haibon. Mm-hmm. And then his podcast is...
Well, I was going to let you plug yourself first, but yeah, so you can find me at Jared Haibon on Instagram and then Haibon_Jared on Twitter. Then you can listen to Help I Suck at Dating and iHeart.
I love that podcast. Yes.
Oh, well, that's very sweet of you to say. I appreciate it. We need all the help I Suck at Daters we can get. Co-host that with Dean Unglert, who is also a Bachelor member. And yeah, we're currently looking for a third host because our third host, Vanessa, left, but we're looking for another one right now. And then that's really it. Ash?
Yeah. And my podcast is I Don't Get It.
Yes.
And that's the girly podcast that you were on.
It was so much
and
fun.
I say girly, I mean like it's about like it's directed towards millennial women, but everybody can enjoy it for sure. And then I also have Almost Famous, which with Ben Higgins, and we talk about all things Bachelor.
I've never laughed so hard on any podcast I've been a guest on than I did on I Don't Get It. Like you guys asked me probably the funniest questions. I really was crying. I was laughing so hard. I had such a good time on there.
Oh, thank you.
I did. Sorry. Thank you guys so much. And I wish you the best. And I can't wait to see what more. Are you guys moving? That's just random.
Why? Do you see that on our star?
Yeah, I do. They just made me say it. Like, cause I get, and I don't know where.
Just more. I'm not done.
Oh, all right.
Who made you say it?
I was about to sign off, and they're like, and I just heard they're moving. Like they screamed it at me, like Spirit, and I'm just looking at your Now I have to pull up your selfie so I can get a better understanding.
Do it.
Yeah. So yeah. I feel like you guys are moving.
Wait, before you leave, like I just have like a little bit more podcast content for you.
Yeah. Give it to me.
Could you read our future for a minute?
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. Okay. All right, so let's talk about moving because it's the first thing they brought up. So I feel like you two aren't staying where you're staying. I feel like there's going to be some sort. It's funny because as soon as I say that, I feel like Jared might be like the one who's more stuck there than you are, but that would be more of like the logical reasons behind it or something. As you make your decisions as a couple, as a married couple. See, I feel like the LA area, obviously, that's where your work and your life is and whatnot. But I do feel like there's this need to get out of there. So it's hard because I feel like there's like this Jared needs more nature or something. So I feel like it's almost stressful for him to be there, but he knows he has to be there. Does that make sense, Jared?
Does that make sense? That's a conversation we have every single day.
Yeah, it makes pretty good sense to me.
Like,
He hates it here so much.
No, I hate it
All
here.
he wants is green. He's like, don't you need more green in your life?
He does. He needs to go live off the grid for a week or something just to like get yourself back together.
We do a really good job of traveling east, though. We
That's
do.
good.
I got to give Ashley a lot of credit. She puts up with me on that one.
No, that's good. Well, Ashley's the type, like, Ashley, I feel like you're the type you can go with the flow. You're like, all right, we'll try that. Okay, cool, whatever, but like, it's hard because like work is where you're at. But I feel like a different house with at least more space. And I don't know where you live, and I don't know, like personally, like how much space you have or not putting down your spot or whatever. But I just feel like you're getting more space. But it still feels like LA. But I do feel like with you guys, I'm just getting mountainous or something, and I feel like you might have like a second place or just a retreat or something like that for the future, so you can like get out of town and just be by yourselves and do your thing. Other things I get, with Jared, I swear I was getting a lot of this producer, like where he creates content, and I was getting, it's more than the podcast because it feels more like media, like, I don't know, visual stuff. So I feel like with that, but it feels like, and I don't speak the language of the industry, but I feel like it feels like a more docu-series or something like that. And I feel like it's his baby and his brainchild. And I get that it's something that he gets to create and move forward with people outside of Bachelor Nation. There's like other people, like I feel like leaving the Bachelorverse is something that Jared will be doing. And I feel like it's something that he may want to do. And, it's funny because I feel like the Bachelor universe found you, Jared, and like you're like, and you're appreciative, you're not ungrateful, you're very grateful and all of that. But I do feel like there's this need to kind of, I don't know, separate a little bit, if that makes sense. And I feel like you're going to get that through your own artistic endeavors.
This is like a pep talk I need daily. I love it.
Well, they're saying like your passion is, it's funny because it's not always on brand, right? So like your passion isn't always on brand. So they're saying like that's okay. So, and actually when you kind of go off brand with your passion, that's where abundance will show up. So they're giving you that kind of push to see what that's about. But I feel like you working with other people with that.
Love it.
And then with you, Ashley, I feel like more of the same, like with, I mean, obviously, like, I feel like are you doing this is crazy. Are you doing a third podcast, though? Because it feels like it feels like a third thing that you're doing where it's your opinions and you're talking and it has something to do with you and you just kind of doing your thing. But they're giving me the number 3. So I don't feel like you're letting go of anything, but it feels like another commitment for you talking. And I don't know if you can talk about that or anything, but it feels like that. And, and it feels like this one is like a travel thing, like it's going on the road or taking it on the road. I could be mushing two things together, but that's the next thing I get.
I guess they're more like ideas right now. We'll see. I mean, I would like to add a third thing, so I plan on it.
Okay, good. Because I feel like it's I feel like you always are the type, like, you pull in other people with you, which is just who you are. You're like, okay, like, if you get an opportunity, you look around and you're like, oh, who else can come with me? Because that's how you are as a person. And that's why you're so genuine and lovable, and like you are, like, you're doing this like, you're just a nice person, but like, I feel like my point being is that on this third thing, I do feel like it's you as like the center of it, and you can bring in whoever you want, but you're the center of it. And I feel like that's something that you've been working on spiritually. Like, it's okay that if I get something, like that kind of a thing, because sometimes I feel like, I don't know if you ever feel guilty a little bit for have purple people. That can happen sometimes. Like you get spotlight, but it's never like you asked for it. Just kind of comes your way. So like release any guilt about any opportunities you get. Like even if it's subconscious. Does that make sense?
I guess we do feel a little guilty.
Sure.
Opportunities and stuff. Yeah, we do. But I think I know what you may be talking about.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see if it actually comes into fruition.
I'm excited. You'll have to keep me updated because I feel more for you guys jointly and separately, like kind of as you do things jointly. But like, well, you're always going to do it together because you encourage and support one another. And I also feel like you don't like to be apart. So if one of you goes somewhere, the other one's like, well, how can I come? You know, which is good. That's good for the relationship. So I feel like you do things together. Are you two really inseparable though? Like if you're going to hang out with anybody, is it each other for the day?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel weird because like I'll be with I was like recording a podcast the other day and I was gone from him for like 2 hours.
Aw.
And I was it was gonna come out of my mouth like, okay, I want to go spend some time with Jared before bed. And then I was like, wait, if I say that out loud, people are gonna think I'm ridiculous because I spent all day long with him.
Well, no, you guys are like best friends. I think that's so sweet. You know, it's because you're so connected. Yeah, but they're just saying like none of these opportunities will drive you away from each other. They'll bring you closer together. So that was just like random. I don't know if that, you know, because I think like when you're in this industry, it's always like, oh gosh, there's so many wedges and there's so many like forces and there's so many things. And I just feel like it doesn't affect you too, you know, like you make the right decisions when you're together. But yeah, and I feel a little girl, but I feel like that might be a little bit of time, like because I do get.
Is that little Lois that you feel, or could it be a girl baby? I want a girl baby.
It feels like a girl baby. It does.
Yay.
We'll see.
It's funny because I feel like I see Jared as like a girl dad. Like he's just like,
I know, me too.
don't you? He's gonna be so good at
Girl
it.
dad.
He is.
He's literally all over Lois right now. Like he just got Lois. You know, Lois we've had for a year, and
Aw.
it's his first female dog,
Yeah.
and he's only been raised with male dogs.
It's
And
like-
then all of a sudden, he wanted a baby girl more than he thought he did, and now he like babies her. Like there's just like a certain like sort of like protection that he bubbles around her than the other dogs.
Oh my
Sure.
gosh. That's like his princess. That's the thing. Girls are nicer to boys. That's like everybody knows that. Daughters love daddies like so much. Like, you know, that's just how it works. So, you want a daughter, Jared. Trust me.
Yeah.
I do want a daughter. My daughter, her name's Lois.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to find a picture of her on your Instagram and I can't find. Oh wait, yes I can. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, Ashley just posted a picture of her.
Oh my gosh, I see it on yours. Like Yeah. So Lois feels like your total baby though. Like I feel like actually Lois has boy energy, which I can get on a dog if they're just like your baby, and I feel like she can't be left alone because she gets like depressed or something. So do you guys take her everywhere? Because she feels like
She goes everywhere with us.
she feels well behaved though.
She's behaved when she goes on planes, travel.
Wow. Yeah, she's a good one. I'm like looking at her. She feels like, oh, I don't know where you. Okay, I just get like this situation that you took her from. Not this. That sounds bad. I feel like she was with a lot of other dogs or something. But she's because I get her. She was part of a pack and now she's not. But it feels different than just like siblings. Was she with other dogs or something? I don't know if she's a rescue or a breeder.
We don't know. Yeah, she was a rescue, so we don't know.
I feel like she was with a ton of other dogs, so it's weird for her to be alone, but she likes it much better because I feel like she was picked on.
Oh, the Lois.
Nobody picks on our Lois.
Now she's like,
Up.
she might be a
Jeez.
one dog house. I don't know. Like she could handle.
Yeah.
How is she around other dogs? Is she kind of like just kind of timid or like, well,
Playful.
she's what?
She's playful with other dogs,
Okay.
but she doesn't like the dog park. That scares her.
Yeah, she doesn't like other dogs at the dog park.
It's like a lot. You have good, because they're so aggressive there and they're all like crazy. But Jared, you have good alpha energy for dogs. Like, does Lois listen to him better than you, Ashley?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think just
Some-
because I have I have a deeper voice, she might find that more intimidating.
Well, I feel like it's more your energy because you kind of make a decision and stick with it like that instead of like, do you want this or do you want this or do you want that or do you want this or do you want that? Like, I feel like you're like, you want this. And then like dogs like that. They're like, okay, cool. Like one.
Yeah, they like leadership.
Yeah, they do. They do.
I'm-
do. So Thank you guys. I can't thank you enough. I appreciate you guys so much. And let's keep in touch. And I want to hear about like other babies other than Lois in the future. You have to let me know. Okay.
Well, Megan, thank you so much for having us on.
You take care, guys. What'd you think about that, Scott?
That was a really incredible interview. They were really open, kind. It was really interesting to listen to.
I'm so appreciative that they came on and just were talking about their relationship so honestly. My takeaway from it, and I really liked what Ashley said, because I asked her, what is your advice when it's not working out and you feel like it should? She said, take a break, walk away, and I feel like that was really liberating advice for people going through situations like that, because I know a lot of us have been or are or know somebody. So yeah, they're a really great couple, and I'm thankful that they came on.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So
and he was our first guy guest.
Oh my gosh, he is!
Yeah, it's been
Woo!
we always get
And he's green.
The girls. It's hard to get guys to come onto our podcast.
He was so open. I love picking green people's brains.
Yeah.
Because they're so I don't know, like they're very willing to talk about things, but it's so I don't know, like logical and different and and it's interesting because they'll say things and it's super on point energetically. They just don't have that like lingo for it or whatever. So I really liked picking his brain. He was super cool. Okay, so we want to thank Nancy Anderson Fit and Tread Thrill. Check them out and check out my show notes for all details to connect and communicate with us. As always, this podcast is for you and about you, and we love hearing your feedback. You take care, guys.
Bye-bye.